going to do now is announce the delegations. Oh wait, drum roll. North and Central
It's the
America.
first day back from winter break.
The delegation from South America. Luke Patalunas.
And environmental
Sikes-thurston,
science students will discover different data techniques to explain the connection between science, economy, and government policy.
Study the population.
So you have to explain the concept from Brazil. And then number 3.
As groups of students learn the difference between indirect counts and random sampling, teacher Erin Sikes-Thurston knows which students are more prepared than others to start the lesson.
Reproduction, consumption, waves, sinking, food influx, sea floor. Does that make sense to you?
To meet the needs of every student, Erin uses a teaching strategy called differentiation by readiness.
The groups are set up flexibly, which means that every single time you do a pretest and you level the kids, that's not the way it's going to be the next time you give a pretest and you level the kids. What does biodiversity mean? So for this particular activity, they are flexibly grouped, meaning readiness determined who went where. And the next time we do a readiness activity, the groups might not end up being the same. And then explain the implications to the class. The second part of flexible grouping there is that after they're done being in their work groups, they're going to go back to their typical lab table groups, and so that they can then present the material that they did in their delegation groups back to their lab table. So there's another experience of flexibility. When you differentiate by readiness, it's really important that the kids still really do the same thing, except the challenges associated with activity would be appropriate for the readiness the level that they are at.
So we're taking these little stickers. These poker chips are supposed to represent animals in the wild. So we take these little stickers and we stick them on them as if we mark them.
And this is supposed to help you determine the population. So one example right here we had to do is they trap geese.
I've done these graphs before in another class, Human Geo, and so it just makes it easier to understand because I'm coming back to it a second time. And so like looking at the different
There's several challenges to managing several groups going at one time. Probably the most important is time management. With time management, it requires for you to look around and keep them on task. But then secondly, watch your time. Another thing is, there's key things that each group is doing so that when they go back to their normal lab groups, they will be able to explain the implications and concepts that they learned while they were with their biodiversity hotspot delegation. So that means that you've got to keep checking in with them, which means you have a lot in your head going on with what's that group supposed to know, what's this group supposed to know. All the kids are engaged, and it's an amazing opportunity for kids to then talk to each other when you're done.
So the population is going to grow, and then...
In this classroom, the teacher knows how to identify which students are ready to master new material.
Think about that. How accurate could you be?
Everyone has the same learning objective, but may meet the objective in a slightly different way than their classmates. And by using flexible grouping techniques to differentiate, Erin provides instruction that matches students with tasks that support their learning. When students are comfortable in their learning and willing to risk right and wrong answers, it reflects a vibrant learning environment.
Building relationships with kids, my relationship with the kids and the kids' relationships with each other, go hand in hand with having successful differentiation. Carry on. It's team chemistry that determines success, not individual skills. So that is why the whole group of kids make progress from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, because that team chemistry exists. From day one, you have to work on that. So you can't start differentiation on day one. First, you build the relationships. Then you can start with differentiation. That's what makes this stuff work. I'm not doing much. They're doing it.